Yo, what's up, jazz guitar friends? Larry Tamanini here, jazz guitar under 5 minutes. Hey, you just caught me playing through one of my most favorite jazz standards ever, Alone Together. Or, if you're from the Philadelphia area and Italian, you could call it Stallone Together. Whatever you want to do. So, I love this tune. It's a great song, 14 bar A section, which is kind of weird and unique to this tune and a couple other tunes. But check it out. Why are jazz guitar players so afraid of repeating themselves, right? Or repeating a phrase? I notice a lot of people comment me that I know how to phrase really well. Well, I don't know that I'm a great phraser, but I feel like I'm good at trying to develop simple ideas. And so much of improvising and becoming a great improviser is just developing simple ideas. You hear a lot of great guitar players and they're like playing so many amazing lines at once. It's pretty incredible. I don't think like that though. I like to hear nice melodic ideas, right? I enjoy players that are telling a story. As much as I can appreciate chops and appreciate players that can just utilize all of the guitar and demonstrate a lot of skill, I'm looking for somebody to kind of tell me a story. And I really don't want to be overwhelmed either. Check it out. So I was playing over Alone Together, right? And we talked about it's a 14 bar form, but that's not really a huge deal, I guess. You kind of hear the way this song goes, and it starts on a minor chord, does like a 2-5 thing, right? And then it goes to the 4, which so many tunes do, almost like a minor blues too. But instead of going back to the 1, it kind of plays this B minor, E7, G minor, C7 to the F, right? And then it just goes right back, almost thinks it's going to resolve minor, but it resolves major, right? There's my little tutorial on the A section. But check it out. I was just playing simple ideas for this, and I repeated it a couple of times. There's a lot of power in repetition. You hear so many players, again, like they're playing ideas, and it's like you're watching popcorn pop. Take your time. And if you're a person that's having a hard time getting through forms, why would you make it tougher for yourself? When you're phrasing, when you're phrasing correctly, let's just say, you're leaving a trail for yourself and for your bandmates to follow. So through that A section, right, I played an idea like this. It almost sounds like the tune Nature Boy. Woo! Not that Nature Boy, the standard Nature Boy. But I used that little just coming down from the 5th. And then the next time through I started from the 7th. And then I did the first one just to vary it up a little bit. And I kept this idea, I kept this motive through it. Approaching, once I got to my 4th, I'm playing off D, B flat, and G, just outlining those ideas. Now I extended it through this part. So once it got to this part, some people might just say you're arpeggiating through the changes, which is not incorrect. You can melodically and rhythmically try to make those arpeggios musical. And that's pretty much what I did when I sequenced this idea. Again, from the B minor idea, I just pretty much played down from the 7th, right? Same thing once I got back to my G, and then to this F major. A lot of the times when, you're playing by yourself, you don't feel the need to want to comp for yourself. In a lot of cases, comping for yourself is like adding punctuation to a line, that you're writing. After I played this sequence, it felt really natural to play those chords. You do something 3 times and then you can answer. And then once I got to my D major, just the line that I like to play. However you want to do it, I love playing it. That's maybe a little harsh, but so after I got through that, I kind of was able to play some licks and some notes. It kind of freed me up. But then after you kind of do that for a while, you want to maybe start another type of, idea to develop. So what I did there was something, the last one that I did was pretty much like scalar or chord tone. So the next thing that I ended up trying to do and play off of was more of an intervallic idea. And that idea was maybe something like, that kind of major 7, almost like an octave, but you go up. So that would be, for like your E minor, A7, and then once you got to the D, you get that idea. So this is an intervallic idea that I like to use a lot. I think after I played some lines that you heard me play, and then you move that idea again, to again, so many things that you can do. Maybe a little bit of both. Again, I used this idea for the bridge as well. That's a line that you'll hear me play a bunch. It sounds great, when you comp it or you use it as a solo. And again, a cool little sequence with that. Why not repeat it, right? And then maybe after stating it, you kind of outline that line. And after I got back, that third, so I gotta play the Lee Morgan. I think I ended it after that first chorus. But check it out. So I basically took 3 sort of ideas that I pretty much used an entire chorus off of. Now the great players can just play off that like one riff. Somebody like Sonny Rollins comes to mind, that can just do so much developing, seemingly a little phrase and get a lot of mileage out of. But again, it takes a lot of courage to play simply, and it takes a lot of courage to repeat ideas and discipline. This was certainly something that I had to practice a lot to be able to apply. And, that means just sitting down, being in the gig simulator, and then, trying it on gigs. After doing it so much, it just sort of comes out. But it's a great strategy in building your solos, playing an idea, developing an idea. The 3 ideas I used were playing back from the 5th, and then, sometime adding, whatever that flat 7th is going to be from all those minor chords. I did it from D minor, I did it from G, I did it from B minor, and then I did it over that F major too. The next idea I played was an intervallic line, which was pretty much, if I were starting on my E minor that time, that would be A, B flat up to an A, and then C, C sharp up to the C natural that gives you that kind of sharp 9. And then, then you have your E to your F. And we kind of did that in G minor as well. The next one I did was just developing a third back to root with a little bit of rhythm variety. Sometimes you get them for just a D minor, sometimes you do a bunch of the chords. And again, if you're playing by yourself and practicing this by yourself, a great thing to do would be you kind of take this strategy and do it maybe like 3 times, and then punctuate what you're doing with your chords to help you find where you are. Keep the music going forward. You're not killing a phrase, but it's basically like saying like, okay, I've developed this idea, a fair bit of times where I can kind of go on to something else. And you use those chords to stop your phrases and start a new idea. Because imagine somebody talking to you and they are either not letting you get a word in edgewise, which is kind of what happens if you're just in the, noodle mode while you're playing and just kind of playing eighth notes. Think about that. If you're in a rhythm section and you have a soloist that's just in noodle mode playing eighth notes, like, what are you really going to do? There's nowhere for you to interact with that soloist. So when you're soloing, when you're giving the rhythm section some nods of like, hey, this is an idea that I'm developing, they hear it a few times, they're going to make you sound better and probably push you in some new directions too. Don't always have the chance to play with a full rhythm section or even another player, or so get used to comping by yourself, and that will be really good going forward anyway. All right, so check it out, jazz guitar friends. Thank you if you've made it this far. I hope you got something out of this video. We are just talking about playing simple ideas and having the courage to play repeated ideas through a solo. Not something that's talked about enough, but something worth working on. So take that, put it in your jazz guitar bag. Have a great, I hope everybody had a good 4th of July, and I'll be back with some more videos. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Bebop, I'll be back.